Hi, this is Alan Olson, and welcome to American Dreams. My guest today is Evan Ryan. Evan, welcome to today's show.
Thanks for having me, Alan.
So, Evan, you've been on before. We're going to get an update on, what's up now. You do a lot in the AI space, and so. But before we jump into there, let's get the listeners familiar with your credibility, background, how you got to where you are today, and then we'll jump into current update.
Yeah, so I'm the founder of a company called Teammate AI. We help companies automate their really boring processes and their mundane, their time-consuming processes that have to get done, but people don't really love to do. Especially the stuff where everybody knows the feeling of waking up on a Monday morning. You had a wonderful weekend, and you're kind of dreading doing the 2 hours of work out of your 8-hour day that you have to do. That's pretty boring and mundane. And so we try to automate that stuff to free people up to do more creative things. But my background is a little bit kind of interesting. I started as a neuroscience student back in undergrad at Ohio State. And I went to this technology conference, and they had this guy named Jeremy Howard. And he was speaking about the stuff that you could do with AI back in 2016. And his company at the time could better diagnose breast cancer from CT scans and MRIs than a team of board-certified doctors. I thought, oh my gosh, if that's what we can do in 2016, what are you going to be able to do in 2025 or in 2050? And so immediately we just dove into AI to figure out, how can we make the biggest difference that we can make in the world? And what we found was just kind of following our passion a little bit was we don't like doing boring stuff. And so we just try to help other people do less boring stuff, really. I'm also the co-founder of a company called Lead AI. We use AI to write, edit, and publish newspaper articles all without human intervention. So right now we're writing about sports articles, we're writing about crimes, we're writing about a couple other content areas as well. But if you're in the United States and you read the American media, you've probably read one of our newspaper articles before.
It's interesting, all these developments. And so when we fast forward from 2016 to 2023, how's the space in AI lately? What are some of the new things that are coming out?
Well, it's kind of strange being in a space where you have to kind of upskill yourself and upskill your company what seems like every 6 to 8 hours. But really, I think there were a couple of big developments that happened in 2019 and 2020 for the AI world that were just magical, and they made ChatGPT happen. They made some of these other kind of really big developments that are happening with Google and with OpenAI and with Microsoft and Facebook happen. So that's been really amazing. But overall, I think we just have a wealth of talent that's kind of flooding into the AI space. And that's really from a software aspect, making great software programs, making great AI software, but also hardware. The chips are way better. They're way faster. Everything is just it's on a double exponential, to be quite honest. You have software that's growing exponentially, and you have hardware that's growing exponentially. I don't think that the world is going to be the same after what we've seen over the last 8 months.
So you're a digital nomad and constantly on the move and running and growing a company. Give us an update. What is it like? What's your lifestyle like?
Yeah, so it depends on the time zone. But every couple of weeks, every 2 to 4 weeks, my lovely girlfriend and I change Airbnbs. So we both live out of Airbnbs. We don't have homes in the United States. We are just traveling the world, experiencing the world, and enjoying new cultures at the same time. So we still work the same 8, 10, 12-hour work days. But at the same time, when we do have free time, when we do have free weekends, we're enjoying Belgium, or we're enjoying Spain or Thailand or Singapore, or currently we're taking this in Mexico City.
Where have you loved to travel the most?
Good question. Off the beaten path places, the places that most people wouldn't expect. So Edinburgh, Scotland, I absolutely adore Edinburgh, Scotland. Lyon, France is just amazing. Bern, Switzerland is unbelievable. The Thai Islands are incredible. And then we really love Mexico City as well. I think that I would definitely put Mexico City in the mix, along with Valencia, Spain.
It's interesting. You're seeing the world as few people are able to. So I commend you for the digital nomad lifestyle that she lives. Um, yeah, I'm going to circle back into AI, Evan. What brought you into just really having a passion for AI? I mean, a lot of people just learning it. You're back there in 2016, but what is it that captured your attention? Like you want to stay in this field and expand?
I think it's that there's a deep level of satisfaction when somebody used to be doing 8 or 14 or 20 hours a week worth of work that just was mind numbing or wasn't very fun. It wasn't exciting. And all of a sudden now, uh, their life is so much more creative. It's so much more fulfilling. It's so much more fun when they're at work because they're able to do the jobs that they really love to do, that they're really great at doing. They come naturally to them versus almost being human computers. I see AI as kind of everybody's great kind of creative partner or sidekick. I don't see it as a competitor to the human. I think I see it more as kind of the next step in the technological wave, whether that technological wave was from the printing press or whether it was the internet or whether it was the iPhone. It's just another great tool for people to use.
You know, if I approach AI right, I think about AI, and every one of us has such a different mindset to problem solving, right? So AI can be a little bit of everything for everyone. As an entrepreneur running a company, I'm sure that you get asked this question, Evan, I want to put AI in my company, but I really don't know how. Is that something that you can help me with? And how would you
we
approach
absolutely
a
do.
company coming to you?
We absolutely do. I think the answer is a little bit counterintuitive. So, the biggest mistake that we see people see, whether they're the leader of their company or they're kind of a frontline employee, is they say AI is here. We need to figure out how we can use it. And so they're really starting with the technology and then they're trying to find reasons to use that technology. I think there's a much kind of higher probability of success if you instead start with the transformation that you want to make. So whether you're a leader and you want to make that transformation out in the world with your customers or with a new customer base, or with your investors or your stakeholders, whoever it might be, or whether you're a frontline employee and you're just trying to make your team work better, or you're trying to make your role, your impact better, start with the transformation. Start with the impact that you're trying to make, and then move backwards to what's the technology that we need to use in order to be able to make this transformation happen. A lot of times we see companies spend way too much money and take way too much time and way too many resources trying to make AI work for them because they start with the technology and they move to try to find use cases versus say, this is the difference that we've really been wanting to make. We just haven't been able to do it yet. Maybe we can use some of this technology to help us do that. That is easily where I would start. I think the second place that I would really kind of focus on is on teamwork. One of the big things with AI is that people think that the AI is coming to replace the jobs. I couldn't disagree more. Although I do think that jobs will change, I think that AI is here to make the humans more human instead of making the humans the robots or making the human computers. And so start by trying to use the AI or use some of this technology to free up your team, to give your team 10 or 15 or 20 more creative hours in the week and allow their creativity, allow their human connection, allow their kind of difference, the difference that they make with your customers, with your stakeholders, to really get taken to the next level. Instead of trying to use AI to start completely new businesses, although we love that, and radically transform your company, although we love that, I say just free up the team, free up the humans from doing the boring stuff and allow them to tell you what the next transformation needs to be.
So, Evan, how does a person reach out to you for more information or to engage your services?
Yeah, so you can contact us at teammateai.com. That's just teammateai.com. And you can fill out our contact form there, and we'll be in touch very shortly. And it'll be an actual human, not just an AI.
Evan, in AI, as entrepreneurs, we're often looking for examples or application in the businesses. Can you give a couple of, examples of how you were able to help a company more specifically with AI? Was it, through time saving? Was it through, more efficiencies in the system? It helps us to get our head around, best way to approach AI.
Yeah, so we had a construction company of all industries. We had a construction company approach us, and they said, we have somebody who spends 8 hours a week just trying to find new projects for us to be able to bid on and get work. But the problem is these new projects are posted on various different websites, and most of the time you go check these websites and there isn't a new project, or there isn't anything else for you to look at. So it's really a lot of wasted time. It's 10% effort for 100% of the time, or 10% output for 100% of the time. And so they said, could we use AI? Could we use a computer? Could we use technology to just help out our humans? We don't need to replace the human. We just need to save them these 8 hours a week. And so what we did was we watched exactly what the human does. And we created an entire process map. So almost like a process optimization for exactly what the human did every single step of the way. And then we asked, okay, so this is what you're doing right now, but could an AI do this in the future? And so then we started to work with our team to say, could a computer take these kinds of things on? And it turned out that it could. So from there, we built a software program that saved that human the full 8 hours a week. So we're talking about over 400 hours a year of time being saved just because we were able to watch what the human is doing, mimic exactly what the human does, and then create a great launching off point so that the human's only doing the stuff that requires that critical thinking, that requires that really kind of like human level intelligence. And the computer's doing that rote stuff. Another great example would be, I don't know a single journalist who goes to journalism school with the express intention of covering like the high school basketball game on a cold day in February. But it has to get covered, especially if you're a local newspaper, you're a regional newspaper, you really care about your community. That stuff needs to get covered. So we took a look and we looked at all sorts of different articles about high school basketball games or about high school football or softball or lacrosse games that had been published by the humans. And we said, could we have a computer recreate this in a way that frees up the journalists to cover the more important items? And so really kind of our process is watching exactly what the human does, determining, what are you doing right now? Exactly why? And then figuring out how can we offload this work to a computer? That way the human doesn't have to deal with it anymore.
Well, Evan, thank you for being with us today on American Dreams.